Now, today in our first pilot show, we are having serious matters to be discussed as far as leadership is concerned, and just the transition that we normally have when we are transiting from campus leadership and politics into national politics. I think the first thing that I saw that was very interesting on the same is that the reading of the budget, that the Cabinet Secretary is proposing to have a 3.66 trillion budget for the 2021-2022 financial year, which we are going to talk about briefly on our opinion and the expectations that are expected on the same for this with my panel. And number two is that the COVID-19 is still real, and that is why we're having social distance around. And remember that Uganda right now as we speak is under total lockdown as we speak right now. Last year, one thing that was very interesting about the same, because everyone that is sitting with me on this panel are youths, is that the government allocated 10.2 billion for the youths. And now I would want to know how that money was used and the position of these people on the same. And the last thing that I want to talk about that was hitting the headline is that 350,000 people in Ethiopia are still having the fight, and the UN reported that they are going to face a serious famine and anger. Now, turning on my first side here.
Yes.
It's a friend of mine, Fabian, right?
Yes,
Fabian is doing a very interesting course called Innovation
Technology.
That is the only thing that caught my attention. Innovation. That innovation. The title of the course is very catchy. On the same. Fabian from JKUAT University.
Yes.
And the next is Lamek Kere, right?
Yes. Communication and development.
Communication and development. This guy is going to develop a lot of things as we speak.
I communicate as I develop.
Definitely. And to the farthest end is Mr. Colin Stowett. Colin Stowett is doing journalism at Daystar University. I forgot to mention that Lamek is also at JKUAT University. Communication again, communication student at Daystar University, and the current president of
the National Youth Movement. It's a newly formed movement.
NYM.
Very interesting.
That's a very interesting thing that we're having. My friend is leading, and as you can see that moving forward, everyone that is seated in this panel, there are people that either one way or the other, they're associated with leadership while they're still in campus. And now that forms the first topic of discussion for this show, that how do we transit from school politics, the campus politics, into national politics? If we do so, do we bring any change? Because for a very long time, I hear we talk about we are the leaders of tomorrow, right? And the reason I had one say that we are the leaders of today, I'm not so sure about being leaders of today. I am very optimistic about leaders of tomorrow. As we speak, tomorrow is a Sunday. The same youths are not going to church. We are not even leading. Where are we leading? But that is on a light note. That is on a light note. Now, so kindly, I would want us to talk about the same, and I'll start by getting your opinion on the same as we flow.
So thank you for inviting me to the train show. It's very grateful. I think campus politics forms the foundation of national politics. Campus politics forms the foundation of national politics. So in campus, like for me, I'm a representative. I represent a school. Those are comrades around maybe 1,000, you see? And in the school, we have different departments. Like we have development studies, we have journalists, we have corporate communication, and we have mass communication. So these are different units within that school. So dealing with these people, actually these are the people that will also go to the society tomorrow. And if you can manage them, the ideas you share with them is the ideas you should take outside there. So I will say is that there is where you get the foundation. We start from below, Anything starts with a foundation. So campus politics, for me, is just simple like that, the foundation.
Having a strong foundation for the national politics, and it comes from campus. It was from that point that we learn on how to do leadership skills and how to divide between academics and leadership, and moving forward, you now start learning on how to separate family from other things. We've seen so many people that had
started from campus to be leaders from there in our national political ground and even leadership ground, starting from someone like the former Prime Minister Raila was very consistent in leadership matters, while at UN, people like the governor, James Orengo, and so many people, even coming to the ruling party, there's so many people that started their leadership skills from that point.
Yes.
At the same time, I think, I don't know how to put it, but again, we have, even in the recent, people like Babu Owino that have starred in the same field and have been known. He was known to be a president of UN even before joining national politics. Again, it was from that point that we learned the kind of challenges that people are having in the society. If I may ask you first,
Yes.
on the same, why is it that when we are transiting from this to national politics, I thought we should be making it better?
You see, the problem is the people we interact with when we get to the national politics. You see, like you have just talked of Babu Owino. He was a very good person while at the University of Nairobi. Yes, but when he interacted with some people who corrupted his mind, allow me to use it.
Yeah.
I'm so bitter about it when I was saying. When he was corrupted by some of the members who have experience in the house, he also became like, if you work with a thief,
With a gang of thieves.
You are
you are also a thief. Yes. So when he colluded with them, see what he's doing. He was alleged to shoot DJ Evolve. You see? That's now the problem. When we are in campus, we are very good. We deal with students' affairs very correctly. But when we come at the Nini, you see I'm a class rep. I know he has talked about foundation. So I'm the lowest leader at the university. So I know how to deal with the
grassroots.
Yes.
But I think there's always a notion disturbing Kenyans that when you are good somewhere, and once you get to the system, that the system will change you.
Yes.
So that's the mind these youths are going with. So you go there, the system will change me. Everybody's coming here, they're doing this, so I have to do. To fit in that society, the system, the so-called deep state. So you have to be like them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Toed.
Hussein, what I can say about transition from leadership in the university or to the national level, yes, they are good leaders. But leadership, I know, when you start good leadership when you're in the university, you can transit to the national level with a good leadership. Most of these university leaders, they're not really as good as you think they are in leadership when it comes to school. Because if you look at, especially for public universities, these people, before they get into those offices in the university, they have a godfather, a politician somewhere who is trying to put money on him in terms of campaign and stuff. That's why I call them godfathers, who are like, there are some, because they know when you are a student leader, you are leading the youths in the universities. And when we come to the general elections, those youths, they'll definitely be voting for the politicians. So when you're a student leader, they use you to get into that office. And when you get into that office now, you don't really represent the interests of the youths, but you represent the interests of those politicians. That's why when now you transition to the national politics, they have already used you, they will continue using you even when you're in the national politics. So the behavior that you have in representing them when it comes to the youth, you also go and represent the common mwananchi the same way. So corruption begins somewhere. There are some leaders, student leaders, who refuse to be used by politicians. Some of them get into office, some of them don't. But if you look at those who get into office, probably they become good leaders than those who have been used by politicians. So my point is, it all begins in the university.
Yeah.
As students leaders, we should not be used by politicians to get into those offices.
Actually,
And when we get into those offices, we should represent the youths, we should represent the university youths. Yeah.
Hussein, just
Okay.
to add on that,
Okay.
is that I can say that nowadays, this campus politics, it has actually become a bad foundation. Why say so? Because they removed the Mlolongo system, where comrades could vote. If we say Hussein, Hussein. If it's Toet, Toet. Now we are being represented by delegates. So for one to win this election, you have to have a good relation with the delegates. So that means you have to get some cash to lure them. So you see, corruption begins here. So once you get into the system, you will want to get your money back. And that is what you will do when you go to national politics.
He talks of Mlolongo system. I'll tell you, Hussein, we have tried.
Yeah.
And that's why I came up with the National Youth Movement Kenya, so that the youths can have a voice, so that the youths can be well be represented in the Senate, can be well represented in the National Assembly. And Hussein and my fellow leaders here, what is wrong by youths being given the Ministry of Youth Affairs, so that we run our own affairs, so that the youths of this nation have a voice? Because there is power imbalance in this nation. That's why in private sectors and even in public sectors, youths are not being given the opportunities because of power imbalances in this nation.
Do you think, as a country, do we have political democracy, and are we still enslaved politically?
What I can say, we say we are a democratic nation, but our democracy is premature. We say we got freedom, but when we got freedom from the colonial master, we had other masters, our own, who are colonizing us in a way. And so I wouldn't say we are totally free. So you say we are not free until we are free.
Yes.
So we really don't have democracy as we said. Democracy, the way we talk about it, is just for formalities because it's in the constitution, but it's not really being practiced.
How, or what are some of the measures you think this government should take, or the people should take, for us to regain or gain for the first time, if we've not been having it, the political democracy, political freedom?
I think it will take years. In Kenya here, it will take years. Now you can see the judiciary and the executive are wrangling, because the judiciary is supposed to be independent, but you can see the president did not appoint the other 6 judges. And what does the constitution say? That once the JSC, that's the Judicial Service Commission, vets those judges, the work of the president is to appoint, but he did not. Look at the case of Miguna. So the court gives its ruling, but the government gives its own ruling. So the best thing is getting judiciary, making the judiciary independent. That will be the first step. Because when we have laws and we cannot be governed by laws, then there's nothing we are doing.
I would like to differ with my friend here. He's saying...
Okay, before you differ,
yes.
I think to support what he's saying, not to support, but another thing that I also saw on the limelight was Ngunjiri's Nyeri Town MP. He had also tweeted on the same thing. Actually, was it even commanding? He told the former CJ,
William Tunga
and Maraga to shut up. This ideology of judicial independence and not being part of the government or so, so should not be there, and therefore they should not bring this war between the judicial system and the executive.
I think the war is already there.
That is undermining the judiciary.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
the judiciary is
in a big way.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Because the judiciary is a separate
It
arm of the
should be
government
independent.
and should be independent.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No problem, Bwana Hussein. At the point where he said that democracy will take years, I think this guy is wrong. Because we as Kenyans, we have an opportunity every 5 years to elect people who will not come and start deferring like with the judiciary, as you have said. You see, this guy is saying that it will take years, but I don't think so. We just have to stand up because elections are coming next year, yes? We have to stand up,
To that saying, I can say the democracy will take years if we sit down.
Yes, yes.
But democracy will come on time if we roll up our sleeves as the youths of this nation, because right now I know majority of the voters come the next general election will be the youths. Let us refuse to be used by politicians.
Yeah.
Let us make our own good decision, because they say we are the leaders of tomorrow, but we cannot be the leaders of tomorrow if we don't take actions. So if you want to change the dynamics of politics in these nations, it is we, the youths of this nation, that can change this nation. And it's high time we get into the arena of action.
Yes.
What the youth have to do, we have to change our attitude. And let's change our focus. Because for many years, we have been claiming we are the leaders of tomorrow. Okay, the elections are coming, we should change and elect someone else. But if the elections come, different elections, same results. Whoever gets into power, different results. So, what I can say, the youth need to style up. Why should you be given 500 shillings to go and cause chaos in someone's rally? That is where it begins.
See, I don't need to be on the ballot to change the dynamics of politics. There are good politicians besides being bad politicians. There are good politicians like Mutua. Mutua, according to me, is a good politician who can foresee the agendas of the youth. And you see now, I can't come from the university now, I'm done with university, I can run for presidency and say I need to be on the ballot. What I can do, I support someone who has the interest of this nation, the interest of the youth at hand. Before we even elect a leader, we should ask them questions and ask ourselves questions.
But
which kind of
a point of interjection?
are you trying
a point of interjection.
Yes.
Like we have these debates. All leaders go through that debate. What are you trying to say about about interrogating leaders?
That's what I'm saying. It should start with us. Ask the youth.
Yeah,
We should
I support
change
it.
the mentality.
We should.
Because you see,
we should define our objectives.
Even when it comes to the elections,
Yeah.
we, the same youths, we, the leaders who represent other youths, are the ones who are used by those politicians. Because you see now, my friend, you are just a student, you have no job, you are just from the university, and a politician comes in. Yes, you have good objectives, but you are given some money and you sell the people you represent. So it should start with that. The fact that you don't have a job doesn't mean you should sell your integrity. So it should start with that.
So you mean that when I'm given the cash,
No.
should I refuse? Or
Let
what are you trying
me
to say?
tell you. So wait,
like for example,
okay, just to respond to your question,
Okay.
I think we should start by ourselves. Me, Islamic.
Yes.
Me, Islamic. You see, my opinion will determine how the society is going to change. Because if I say, if they give me money, I just take and vote for him. So that is the mind I will share with this one. And when also says that one, we elect the same bad leaders. But as the waiter said, if it starts with me, I say I want change. I define my goals, my objective, the person I want. He does the same. This one does the same. I think we can
Because
achieve.
Hussein, I'll tell you for a fact,
Okay.
there have been so many youth organizations in this nation.
So many.
But the issue is that they are good objectives, yes, but they are being taken over by politicians. But you see now, if I'm heading an organization and my objectives are clear, and politicians now, because we are nearing the electioneering period, and they have seen my organization has over 800,000 youths, and they now want to come and buy me, I should not sell that integrity. You see, if they want, let them support the organization, but let them not use us
For their own gain.
One thing I want to get clear. Every now and again when people are talking, everyone wants a change, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would believe that everyone in this panel believes with me, agrees with me that the only way to get change is through the ballot.
Through the ballot.
Now,
No.
when
I will not agree with you on that.
Okay.
We can have some things like revolution. You see, many countries do
Yeah,
revolution.
because
We should not just wait
it's not-
until we got
it's
the
not
ballot.
the ballot alone,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
cases happen in the ballot. We have all seen
Yeah.
the
Rigging,
previous election.
the elections
So
are being controlled.
If we cannot take the ballot way, there is another way.
Sure.
Yeah, but ballot is just one of the ways.
Yeah,
of
one
the
of
many
the
options.
ways.
The many
Okay,
ways.
fine. What I was trying to mean